Honored guests, our fellow Vietnamese Americans. Today, Vietnamese Americans nationwide commemorate the 46th anniversary of our journey to freedom, fleeing communism in Vietnam since 1975. The 111th US Congress designated May the 2nd Vietnamese Refugees Day to recognize the Vietnamese refugees who risked their lives for freedom after April 30th, 1975, when Vietnam was invaded by communism. Vietnamese Americans have made significant contributions to the rich culture and economic prosperity of the United States. Vietnamese Americans have distinguished themselves in the fields of literature, the arts, science, and athletics, including actors and actresses, physicists, astronauts, and Olympic athletes. As Vietnamese Americans, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to all who have helped us throughout this difficult journey. To name a few, are President Ford, President Carter, who pushed for the Refugee Act 1980, Senator McCain, Senator Webb, and countless other Americans who have opened their hearts to sponsor Vietnamese refugees into their families. We also mourn the recent passing of former Vice President Walter Mondale. We are forever grateful to his leadership in rescuing the Vietnamese boat people who were drowning in the open seas. May his legacy continue to guide our hearts in raising the torch of freedom for all humans in despair, fleeing tyranny for a more democratic society. Most recently, many senators, led by Senators Hirono and Harris, and representatives led by Congressman Lowenthal, have raised voices against the deportation of Vietnamese refugees back to Vietnam, a hostile country from which they fled. As Vietnamese Americans are very concerned about deteriorating human rights in Vietnam, the unjust imprisonment of journalists and political dissidents, and the increasing aggressiveness of Chinese Communist Party in its attempts to control the Southeast Asia Sea and the Indo-Pacific region. We share the existential threat of climate change in the US, as well as in the lower Mekong River basin. We support the US government in good policies to combat climate change and to curb the Chinese Communist Party's expansionism that threatens Vietnam's independence and the preservation of Vietnam's Mekong River Delta. Now, as Americans, we commit to pay forward, to honor, defend, and protect the American values, to fight for freedom and democracy. During the COVID-19 pandemic, many Vietnamese American medical staffs had worked at the front line. At the same time, many Vietnamese American businesses, such as nail salons and restaurants, also turned their shops into making masks and providing thousands of meals for free for the frontline workers. May is also the Heritage Month of Asian Americans. As the fourth largest population among Asian Pacific Americans, Vietnamese Americans have had our share of racial discrimination. We mourn the senseless loss of John Huang, Shen Nguyen, and Thiện Ly, who were tragically murdered in the spate of recent hate crimes against Asian Americans. We mourn many others who have suffered at the hand of bigotry before them. We stand in solidarity with all Asian Americans and Americans at large to reject anti-Asian hate, racial discrimination, and violent crimes. We applaud the US Congress for having recently passed the Anti-Asian Hate Crimes Act. We hope that this is the beginning of a continued conversation in search of a brighter, safer future for all Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. Today, we invite you to join us in this virtual conference, looking back, moving forward, to identify challenges we are still facing in our journey to freedom. At this conference, the focus will be on a variety of topics concerning the Vietnamese American community. This includes empowering the young generation to move forward to the next phase of the journey. We still need to have more representation, to have a stronger acceptance into mainstream society. We need to lessen the generational gap within our own community and strengthen the consensus to protect our core values. Together, we will make this a better world with more freedom and justice for everyone. Thank you.